All right. What's up, boys? Yesterday, I said that I was going to read one book a week. I'm trying to stay true to my promise. I don't know for how long I'll read one book. Look at my fucking hair, it's gotten massive. But I started reading The Atomic Habits. I just started from the beginning with his story, with everything. Just got everything. And I've gotten to page 36, which might not seem like a lot, but that's exactly 1/7 of the way through the entire book. Then there is the appendix, but like I'm probably not gonna read the fucking appendix. Maybe I'll read. It was like in the appendix. It said. Let's see here. Fuck, I feel like I'm bleeding it. I just scratched right here. It fucking hurts. Yeah, the appendix just say, what should you read next? Little lessons from the four laws. Maybe I'll read that. That's like 6 pages. How to apply these ideas to business. I'll probably read that. How to apply these ideas to parenting. Acknowledgement, notes, index. I don't know. Maybe I'll read that. Yeah, anyway, I got some catching up to do. But it was no joke. It was pretty fucking enjoyable to just sit down and read. It's calming in another way that other ways of consuming really are way more draining. It's like just reading, it's so quiet, it's so laid back, there's no hurry, there's no speeding through it. It's just calm, sit down and read. It's pretty fucking nice. So yeah, let me actually just like try and go through what I've read so I can basically rehearse from what I read yesterday. Let's go. Okay, there's just a bunch of like the first I don't know 10 pages is just his story. So the surprising power of atomic habits, blah blah blah. There is this British cycling team where for over about 100 years they were the most mediocre cycling team ever, basically. Companies didn't want to sell bikes to them because they were scared that it would make other cyclists think that, oh shit, I should not buy this cycling gear because the Brits are using it, right? Then in 2003, they got like a new trainer. One sec. Yeah, in 2003, they got a new trainer. And over the next 5 years, he basically just made very small improvements here and there to improve like painting the truck where the bikes were white so you could look for dust, testing what gel was better, like hundreds of these small things. And it made like a massive difference in the end, because then they ended up winning like a bunch of shit. Too often we can convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. And here he talks basically about that. It's not about the massive action. It's about the small, consistent habits that you can do over a long periods of time. If you're doing good habits, then time is your friend. If you're doing bad habits, then time is your enemy. 1% better every day, 1% worse every day. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We basically talked about that. Yeah. What progress really looks like. We like to assume, and we mostly think that progress is linear, like this. We think that progress is linear, but it's not. Imagine you're sitting in a room that's negative 10 degrees cold, right? There is an ice cube sitting in front of you, and this ice cube represents your progress. the heart, like when it disappears, your problem is solved. Basically, let's just say that you're sitting in a room. It's minus 10 degrees Celsius. You start heating up the room. I don't know, right? You start pouring hot water around the walls to heat it up, right? It gets to -9, -8, -7, -5. No progress, right? You've made the room 5 degrees warmer, but no progress. The ice cube is still there. -4, -3, -2, -1. Still no progress. 0. Still no progress. The ice cube still not melting. 1 degree. Now the ice cube starts melting. 2 degrees. It's going faster. 3 degrees. It's practically almost gone. 4 degrees. 5 degrees, and it's gone. You just need to get over this first. There is this point where everything changes. You just need to keep going on this. Go, 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 go. And then right when you pass over this little line here, then boom. Then all the progress just comes. So your progress is not, it may seem like it's lost, but it's just, it's being kept safe. Forget about goals, focus on systems. Here it basically talks about that you shouldn't focus on goals. You should set systems instead. And a system is basically, for example, I want to lose 10 kilos by the end of the year. Instead of setting that as a goal, set a goal, for example, I want to drink 3 liters of water every single day, right? It's a system that you can succeed in day by day, week by week, month by month. Instead of, for example, like if you want to lose 10 kilos, right? On the first day, you take some actions, you haven't lost the 10 kg. The next day, you do the same things, you haven't lost 10 kg. 2 months into the future, you haven't lost 10 kg. 6 months into the future, you haven't lost 10 kg. You may have seen a little bit of progress, whatever, but if your goal is to drink 3 liters of water every single day for a year, on the first day, you drink 3 liters of water. Perfect. You've achieved your goal. Then the next day comes. You drink 3 liters of water. Great. You've achieved your goal. Great. Everything. Yeah. So it's about the input, not the output. Focus on what you can input instead of the output. Yeah. Winners and losers have the same goals. A lot of people think that goals are what sets us apart as winners, like sets the winners and the losers apart. But the winners want to be rich. The poor people want to be rich. The poor people want to be muscular. The rich people want to be muscular. I don't know, bro. The bad student want to get the good grade, and the good student want to get the good grade. So the goal you set in and of itself is not a good trajectory to set yourself on. Personally, he hasn't said this, but I think there is a bit of nuance to this. I think you should set a goal and then focus on the system. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Marathon runners, they run for the marathon. Like if you sign up to a marathon, then you run the marathon, and then once you've completed the marathon, you stop running. And then instead of you setting this goal, then just keep on going, right? Fuck. Goals restrict your happiness. Yeah. Once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. Once I get the 6-pack, then I'll be happy. Once I reduce my screen time to 30 minutes, then I'll be happy. Once I get the grade, then I'll be happy. So by you setting yourself goals and keep prolonging the good feelings inside, then you're just restricting your happiness. Anyway, goals are at odds with long-term progress. Yeah, it's not about reaching the goal, it's about the progress. A system of atomic habits. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, I could talk so much more about this. I'm just gonna... Yeah. There are 3 layers of behavior change. There are the outer circle, the outcomes. Then there is the process, and then there is the identity in the middle. Outcome-based habits, which are what most people do, is they start on the outside. They start with, what do I want to achieve? Whatever. Like they go from the outside. But if you go from the inside and say, who do I want to become? Who do I want to become? I wanna become the person who doesn't want to smoke. Instead of, I'm gonna try and stop smoking. The identity is like all that matters. You fall to the level of your systems. Yeah, it's just talking about this, basically. Yeah. The goal is not to read a book, the goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument, the goal is to become a musician. And this is how the wording of what you use impacts your identity, and with that identity you impact basically everything. So I'm terrible with directions. That's something I actually say to myself. I'm fucking horrible with directions. I think most people, when they think about a place they want to go to, the place just lights up in their head. They know they need to go in this direction. For me, it's not like that. I feel like, for me, I have to visualize. For example, let's say I can go down this road and then I can turn this way, I can go this way, and I could go this way. I have to visualize me going there, then I have turned that way, then I visualize what's there, and then I visualize every turn there is. It's so difficult for me to go to a specific place if the place that when I usually go to that place, if it's not on part of that track. So I try to go on the track that I usually go to that place, whatever, right? I'm not a morning person. I'm bad at remembering people's names. I'm always late. I'm not good with technology. I'm horrible at math. And 1,000 other variations. Yeah, then I haven't gotten any further. Yep. Just gonna put this here. That's it for this video. I'm gonna update you in... This was literally a 1-day update. That's actually pretty crazy. I should only update you in a week. I just filmed another documenting video for another channel, so I just felt like recording this as well. So here it is. I'm gonna turn off my airplane mode now, and I'm gonna go to school in a little bit. So do the thing you've been procrastinating from doing today. Have a good rest of your day. See you, brother.